Well, hello everybody. So good to see so many of y'all here. I see some folks have come into the chat whilst I was dealing with the StreamYard's wormhole doom. I see Godless Sewing. Good to see you, my friend. I see Robert X and GeoSam. And that's all the folks my chat is caught up to. I will try to keep an eye on the chat so that I can greet anyone else as they come in. All right. I need to move that cursor off of that button because otherwise I will disappear. And that would be a magic trick. Amiga Nuts, good to see you, my friend. The king of the shills is in the house. All right. Well, welcome one and welcome all to Mental Health Thursdays here on the Junk Shop Library channel, where we talk about the various ways in which the brain can be uncooperative and can cause us stress and aggravation. It's good to see all of y'all here. If you're watching this back after the fact, we do this every Thursday at 2 p.m. Central. That's 3 p.m. Eastern. That's 6 p.m. UK, no, 8 p.m. UK and 9 p.m. Belgian time. Feel free to join us anytime. We settle in and we have a fairly free and frank discussion of mental health problems, illnesses, successes, medications, coping mechanisms, and so on. Nerdy Rodent, hello, my friend. Paul Kamish, good to see you, as always. Alrighty, well, y'all know what time it is. I got to thank my fantabulous patrons whose names you see scrolling in alphabetical order at the bottom of the screen. These are the folks whose support over on patreon.com/junkshoplibrary, beginning at as low as $1 a month, allows me to keep doing what I do and to keep improving what I improve. Literally could not be doing and improving the way we're doing and improving without each and every one of them and their various forms of support, both financial and moral. Those folks are so close: Atheist Pastor, Aunt Jur, B, Bill, Brainbug, Mark Caesar, Paul Kamish, Gary, Ilya Moon, Kim, Linda, The Lone Wanderer, Math Pig, Mama Atheist, Nikki, Rain, and Santi. Thank you all, one and all, so very, very much. It really does mean the world, and it does make an enormous difference. Ilya Moon is in the chat. Good to see you, as always. Somebody asked me a question, and y'all so busy in the chat that I missed it as it blurred by. I love it. Oh, it was from, yes, Pirate Kitty. Hello, good to see you here. Asks, did I see the post that S.J. Thompson put out about anxiety, depression, and the like? Yes. Yes, I did. Hey, Math Pig, good to see you. Drive safe, my friend. And Very Stable Milking Stool is in the house. Alrighty. Yeah, you know what? I had forgotten about that post. But let's talk about SJ's post about mental illness here for a second. It was a poll, was it not? Asking what the most effective methods for dealing with anxiety and depression were. And I remember one of them was alcohol/drugs. And surprisingly, one of them was not prayer. Surprisingly, knowing SJ. Therapy was not on the list. And while medication technically could be assumed to fit into the list under the alcohol/drugs option, I don't get the sense that that's what that individual meant. Hey, Ricardo, good to see you. Hello, my friend. It's just more tedious, ableist bullshit, isn't it? It's like that guy who shot off his mouth at Allison Floyd a couple of days ago and said the best thing to do for your mental illness is to take a break from whatever's stressing you out. Just, oh, Never Again doesn't know who we're talking about. S.J. Thomason is a shitty internet apologist. And that's essentially all you need to know about the person some people refer to as she who must not be named. Ah, Pirate Kitty's got it. Yeah. The options were, that's right, the options were meditation, exercise, alcohol and or drugs, and other. I mean, except for alcohol and or drugs, which, just given the phrasing, does not include prescribed medication. Those are just not, those are I mean, they're okay. Yes, some people find relief through exercise, and some people find relief through meditation. And I've got nothing against the folks who meditate or who use exercise as a form of physical therapy and or opposite to emotion activity. But why is therapy not on there? Why is prescribed medication not on there? Yes, you could argue it's on there as other, but my God, other is the biggest cop-out in the history of the world. And yes, it is, I agree, it is odd that she didn't have prayer on that list. Honestly, I saw that poll as a quote tweet, and when I opened it up, I fully expected it to be 4 options and all of them to be prayer. That might require a sense of humor of Ms. Thomason that I may be too generously assigning. Sorry, I'm not a fan. Lavender Lady says, because she's a piece of shit. Next question. All right, that's fair. You know what? I think that's right. I think we've burned enough time and oxygen and brain power on that person. Nerdy, I'm right there with you, my friend. Therapy and prescribed medication. I do both of those. In addition to breathing exercises and opposite to emotion activity and a number of other things. Druid Level 1, hello, good to see you. All right, so what am I doing? I'm procrastinating, that's what I'm doing. Because what I wanted to talk about today is thoughts. The thoughts in one's brain. Because I've been struggling with that lately, y'all. My brain does not want to relax. It does not want to quieten itself. It wants to do 300 things at once, none of which do I have the physical energy to do anything to keep up with. Pirate Kitty, good question. What is opposite to emotion activity? Wrong button. Hello, Druid Lover, and good to see you, Brain. It's a cognitive behavioral therapy technique where if you feel like you can't sit still and you're just being driven, sometimes it's good to just make yourself sit still, maybe do some breathing exercises, maybe meditate. And if you're depressed out of your ever-loving skull, like I am a lot of the time, sometimes it's helpful to do the opposite of that. If all your brain wants to do is cower in a nest of pillows on the couch and stare into space, if you can do it, sometimes it's good to get up and, you know, wash this morning's coffee cup. Even if you can't get to all dishes, you know, just getting up and doing something. And Lavender Lady points out some of us get no relief from the standard pharmacopoeia, unfortunately, and that's very true. There are, unfortunately, more folks than one might like to think that just the standard arsenal of treatment doesn't work for. And my heart aches for them. Because, my goodness, being able to find some medication that worked for me was the best thing that ever happened to me. And I'm so glad that my various doctors and I found a combination that works, and that I found those doctors to begin with. So anyway, I titled this stream, I Envy My Fish. So I was trying to think up a title for this stream, because I realized if I'm not careful, I'm going to have 25 videos on my channel, all titled either Mental Health Wednesday or Mental Health Thursday. And that's just not going to be helpful for me when I'm going back and looking at anything, let alone for anybody who's trying to watch. And I was sitting here and I was watching Mr. Twitch over here in the corner, so named because of his personality and pattern of movement. And I thought, you know, that is a creature that is just living in the moment. I envy his ability, not that he has the option. He's got about 3 neurons in the space of about this big. But, and I said, well, I envy my fish. That'll be the title. And, oh, gosh. Lavender Lady, the one that actually helped, the antidepressant, gave me nightmares, as in more than usual. One of the early medications I tried taking for my anxiety had that effect. And I've been prone to nightmares since I was, well, about half a fucking forever. And to exacerbate that part of my subconscious life was just not worth anything. Megan Nuts asks, how long did it take to find that combination? About a year. I've only relatively recently, I've been in various forms of therapy and on and off various medications for, gosh, about 18 months now. And the new combination that seems to be working at least better than anything else that we've tried, with the addition of a mood stabilizer, which has been an absolute godsend. We just found about 6 months ago. So yeah, it took the better part of a year or a little longer. Ah, Ilya, thank you for shilling. I appreciate that so much. Brainbug reminds us not to forget open mic night tonight. Yes. Yeah, it's something I've been struggling with lately. Is the not being left alone by my thoughts. It's like I would just like to sit here and watch the movie. I don't need to be stressing out about things that happened 5 years ago, and I would prefer not to be having weird, tempty thoughts about drifting back into my old self-harm ways, and I would prefer not to think about food and the complicated relationship I have with it. I want to sit here and watch the movie. It's 90 minutes. Give me space, brain. Give me space. Ooh, collaborations are happening before our eyes. I love it. And anybody else? Anybody else? I mean, I know we're all a little edgier than normal and a little more stressed out than normal in these anything but normal times. As I told my therapist this morning, I am plagued with anxiety at the best of times, and these are not the best of times. Never again. Sandy points out, you know, not being alone with my own thoughts for too long is exactly why I still stay on YouTube. Agreed. You can get lost, especially if you try to pay attention to the stream and the chat at the same time. You can lose yourself in the moment for quite a while. Oh, Ilya, I'm so sorry to hear that. That's a lot. Hey, Mama Atheist. Good to see you, Amanda. Yeah, and as Pirate Kitty points out, yeah, I was okay dealing with my anxiety before all this started. Now it's just gotten to be too much. I did not. I should have at least partially scripted this before I started. I know I don't normally script anything, but I should have outlined or done bullet points or something. Oh, sorry. Thank you for bringing that up. Scroll. Sorry, I did a total blank for a second on who posted that. Ilya, thank you for bringing that up. Sometime before too terribly much longer, I'm going to have at least one guest on the stream to talk about PTSD specifically. I've got, thank you, Diana. I appreciate that. I've got a guest I need to get back in touch with, and I have unfortunately been putting it off just due to the state of my own brain, which is, as you may have figured out, not been real cooperative to me of late. Hey, Kim, good to see you. Welcome. Yeah, PTSD is not something that I have in any experience of myself, so I've always been hesitant to speak about it on the channel. But I was talking to somebody just the other day who mentioned it just sort of casually in conversation, and I'm not sure. Discord. I was supposed to get back to him on Discord. And Paul, I completely forgot to touch base with you about coming on the show. I'm so sorry. My brain. I'm going to blame my brain. Druid Lover says, I feel okay with the Zoloft, but can still feel the beast slipping through. Yes. Oh, Math Big, nobody can forget about you. Wouldn't have this damn computer if it wasn't for you and your Germans. Thank you so much for all the help you gave Julie the other night too. We would have lost. Druid lover, I do know what you mean. That's a great way to phrase that. Things creeping up on you, slipping through the gaps that the medication leaves between itself. The beast slipping through. I like that. I'm going to steal that and try to remember to give you credit when I do. Yes. Pirate Kitty says, I often wonder what it might have been like if I'd taken the... I'm just going to go ahead and put that up on the screen because I'm sure none of us can relate to that. If I'd taken the Prozac, I was prescribed it 20 years ago, but I was young, thought I knew better than the doctor. Doctor's orders? What's that? I don't have to do that. I beg your pardon. I wish I'd looked into what was wrong with me and getting it treated 20 years ago instead of waiting until I was in my 30s and had given up on the thought that I could just sort of strangle my brain into submission through sheer force of will, determination, and good old-fashioned Protestant work ethic. Now we're fighting over who's the most famous. Y'all are amazing. Yeah, so that was my monologue about intrusive thoughts. I kind of sort of glanced across some stuff that we've already covered in some depth on the channel. Anybody else got anything they want to bring up? Want to talk, express, commiserate? Oh, yeah, you know, that's a very easy. I fell into that. I did indeed. Oh, this is all stress and aggravation. I know where my problems come from. There's no need for me to. I don't need to take drugs and talk to people and get professional help. If only I'd been on the Boosterone 15 years ago. All right. I've been good so far. Mama wants to talk climate change, but admits it's the wrong stream. Probably get into that on Dave's stream tomorrow. Oh, that's an announcement I forgot I had to make. We do have improv Bible study at the same time tomorrow. We'll be starting the Book of Psalms, more poetry, huzzah. But we will have a hard stop at 10 minutes till the hour, because I want to make sure everybody has time to hit the head, grab a beverage, and find their way over to Dave's stream. Thank you, Amiga Nuts. Timing is everything. Yes, Unfinished Business will be starting up tomorrow at either 3 or 3:30 my time, and I forget which. Oh, shit. Yeah. We got to talk about this for a minute. I said this the other day. Just be kind. The amount of infighting and bullying and stress and aggravation being heaped one upon another by some of the folks in the various communities in which I exist around the internet the volume of it is absolutely staggering. And I understand we're all under a lot of stress. There's a fucking pandemic on. Half of the world is out of work. I understand, but don't take it out on each other. And that's the in front of the scenes chaos and drama. Some of the behind the scenes shit that's going on, I've seen some of it in some of my little corners of the web. I've heard rumblings of it from other little corners of the web. Folks are having a hard time right now. And some folks are getting absolutely beat to shit by people they should be able to rely upon. And it frustrates me no end. People are, yeah, Pirate Kitty, exactly. People are stressed, and they're striking out and taking it out on other people. And they're doing it sometimes in just fucking mean ways. I understand a friendly, even spirited discussion. Don't bully people. Don't belabor people. Don't hammer people into the ground and break their spirit. It's rude, and it's mean-spirited, and it's unbecoming. And at the risk of sounding too much like my father, and it makes us all look bad. So sorry to hear that you're dealing with that, Ilya. If you ever need to vent, you know how to get hold of me. And that goes for all y'all, by the way. I don't have a lot on my plate right now. Y'all know when I stream. That's essentially all I do. If you need to vent, if you just need an ear or a shoulder, reach out. And I mean that. Let's see. There was a tertiary topic I was going to touch on. What was it? Any of y'all psychic? Any of y'all have any idea what my tertiary topic was that I should have wrote down or at least put in the description so I could check? We've talked about racing and intrusive thoughts. We've talked about whatever the other damn thing was. Come on, coffee. Work, bitch. I envy my fish. Sometimes. There are aspects of my life I wouldn't trade for anything, and this community that I've found here with y'all is one of those. I have real friends here, and I value that more than most of you can know. Living in the moment. Yes. That's what it would. Yes. Thank you, Sandy. Living in the moment. That's where the whole fish thing came from. Wanting to live in the moment. Finding ways to stay in the moment. Yes. Helps me to still the voices. I'm trying to find ways to focus myself and focus my energy. I know I keep coming back to breathing exercises, but when I remember to do them, which is not always, I do find them helpful. When they work. It's one of those things that works when it works. You know, not always. Don't dare call you psychic. Okay, my bad. Carpe diem, says Ricardo. Yep. That's a, yeah. You know, I sometimes forget to carpe the diem, or carpe the noctem, as the case may be. I am a worrier. I worry and stress and fret and catastrophize. And I forget to carpe the friggin' diem. Oh, and stew. Yes, thank you, never again. I do that as well. I stew. I fume, even. I find the more time I spend on Twitter, the more I fume and or stew. Hey, B, good to see you. Listening while driving. You and Math Pig both. Drive safe, my friend. Linda says she's an overthinker. I understand that. Do you overanalyze or do you just fret? Because I've found I'm good at fretting. I'm not good at overanalyzing. I'm not good at examining things realistically and finding ways to improve them and doing that to some extent compulsively. But I'm great at just worrying myself to death like a dog with a burlap chew toy. Yeah, that's pirate kidding. My boyfriend likes to say, stop worrying. And I'm like, you might as well tell me to stop breathing. Ilya is an overanalyzer. I know some of those. It causes a lot of stress and strain. People like me who struggle with the feelings of helplessness that come with just mindlessly worrying over every damn thing. Kind of envy the analyzers. And then we actually say something like that out loud and realize there's probably just as great a feeling of helplessness that comes with that. GeoSam brings up irrational and unfounded fears. Yes. Oh. That could be a whole episode in and of itself. Irrational and unfounded fears. My memory is not the best, and I find that feeds into my tendency toward unfounded fears. I'll, the sort of, did I turn off the stove? Did I lock the door? If I didn't lock the door, am I going to come home and find Jason Voorhees hiding in the closet? You know, it spirals out of control, and it does so really fucking fast. Kim says, I hear ya. I have the same. Kim says, I can be going along, having a perfectly fine day, and then something stupid I said years ago will pop into my head, and off I go. Yep. If there was a way to go in and sort of reverse total recall particular events, rather than insert events that did happen into the memory, just to elide memories of events that did. There's a handful, and a handful that grows day by day because we keep getting older and keep living, in which case we're going to keep making mistakes. If there was a way to do that I would get real stressed out about the Philip K. Dick worry aspects of that, and then probably sign up for it anyway. Ricardo says he's the kind of person that has a spreadsheet with a catalog of my spreadsheets. I tried to be that kind of organized once upon a time. I realized I have obsessive enough tendencies to where if I could make myself be organized, I'd be the most organized motherfucker on the planet. What I don't have, though, I found out, is patience. I am not, and this will come as a dreadful shock to my loyal viewers and family here in the chat. What I am not is a patient person. Amazing, I know. Yeah, Ilya, we really need to do an episode on PTSD, because that's something a lot of folks struggle with. And not one on which I am qualified to speak. So I will facilitate. Linda, yes, my brain keeps sending me the thought of me not being good enough. That one will eat you alive, will it not? It's not even one of those 4 a.m. worries. That can sandbag you at any moment of the day. Am I good enough? Do I deserve? Am I worthy? It's brutal. I mean, thank goodness our brains are as complicated and sophisticated as they are. But my God, it can be a mean little organ sometimes. Talking about the Philip K. Dick memory eraser, Pirate Kitty says they need to be able to erase a memory, but not the lesson the memory taught you, so you don't make the same mistakes. I like that. I like that. And GeoSam points out our internal dialogue can keep us from being the best we can be. And I agree. Get too hung up. I call it getting lost in my own head. I know that's not a profound or original phrase, but that's how I phrase it for myself. I can end up wandering around down the same 3 bunny trails for hours on end, doing nothing productive, worrying about the same stupid shit that I've got no power over. And that's during a time when we're not facing a global epidemic. Stressful times, y'all. Stressful times. Right. We've been going 40 minutes. I usually like to keep these around the 45-minute to an hour mark. I don't like the mental health streams to go on just all over the place and too long. Though as long as it's productive for the folks here in the chat, we will keep alive. Pirate Kitty says, my train of thought is on 3 different tracks, and 2 of them are derailed half the time. I think your brain and mine are very similar. I know exactly what that feels like. Linda says she feels trapped in her own mind. Yes. I hate that feeling, but I know it oh so well. Ah, Ilya says, my sub count has increased since we started streaming today. That's awesome. I wonder who they are. Seems like almost nobody has their subscription set to public anymore, so I'll get new folks. You know, back in the day, I used to try to greet new subscribers by name. And, I'll just, try to continue to do that as long as it's feasible. I hope to have a problem where it's not. Hey, Easeism works. Sal, good to see you, my friend. We were closing in on the end of things, I'm afraid. We have vented and supported and commiserated, and I think done well. And that's my goal here on Mental Health Thursdays, or whatever day of the week these end up being. I've gotten good at scheduling them to be on Thursdays so that we can have a consistently named show. Thank you, Sal. I appreciate that. I really do. You keep up your good work, too. Amazing, amazing art that you do. And Amiga Nuts is right on top of it, dropping the links. Right. On my way. What in the world? Sorry, Ricardo, I'm completely thrown. Not me. I'm on my way to be next to the xenomorph as part of the furniture. You talking about my backdrop? All right. Well, let's see. I'm going to run down a quick rundown of what we've got coming up on the channel, and then I think we'll probably wrap up. I'm kind of running out of gas, and I have just run out of coffee, and that's not an awesome combination. New subscribers, not just Ricardo and his soccer guys. Awesome. Well, if you're lurkers out there just watching the show and not running around in the chat, welcome. Hello. Tomorrow is Friday. Tomorrow we will have improv Bible study at 2 Central. That's 3 Eastern. That's 8 UK and 9 Belgium. On Saturday at 11:30 a.m. Central, that's noon 30 Eastern, we will have the patrons only stream, public domain for patrons, that I stream unlisted on YouTube and is linked over on Patreon, where I dig deep into my theater background and read various classic short stories. We have a lot of fun with it. And then on Sunday, we've got a new series coming up. This is, again, a little bit of Patreon bait. We're going to be doing exactly what we're doing right now with the King James Bible, reading through it line by line and dismantling it and being cluelessified by it, but with the Catechism of the Catholic Church. I shit you not. I was going to reach over and grab it, but it's a little too far, and I don't want to jump out of frame for no discernible reason, because that's when YouTube would choose to snap the thumbnail. That is going to be an adventure. And if you'd like to join, you can join the lovely folks scrolling below at Patreon. Hope to see as many of y'all as possible there. I think we're going to have a blast. Then, after the patron weekend, we'll be back on Monday with Improv Bible Study again at same time, 2 Central, 3 Eastern. And we'll still be in the Book of Psalms. We're going to be in the Book of Psalms for some time to come. There are 150 Psalms, and even I am not going to be able to condense them down into 2 weeks' worth of streaming, like we somehow, against all odds and logic, managed to do with Job. Glad to be done with Job, I'll admit. Even if we did have unicorns and aquatic slime trail leaving, fire breathing dragons. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you miss the last episode of Improv Bible Study and should backtrack and watch it at some point. All right. Well, thank you all so much for coming. It's been wonderful hanging out with y'all. As always, I like these times when we get to hang out, open up, support each other, and just generally be. I hope this is a source of calm and community for y'all during these stressful and bizarre times. Brainbug Job was lit at the end. About those last 4 chapters, that was pretty hopping. Just took us 40 chapters to get to it. As we always say before we head out around here, everybody. Oh, hi, Aunt Jer. Sorry, dear. My notifications are so jacked up, you never know if you're going to get one or not. YouTube gonna YouTube. Everybody take care. Be safe. Stand against hate. Remember to take your meds. And we'll see you again soon. Bye now.